Hey guys, this is Simply Piano 9682, and in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to play the first section of Golden Hour by JVKE. This is what it sounds like. Let's take a look at the first part of this sheet music. As you can see, before anything, you see this clef, and you actually see this twice. You see the treble clef for both the right and the left hand, which means that it's written in the music where this would be an E, this would be a G, and followed by B, D, and F for Every Good Boy Does Fun that we learned a while ago. And since these follow the same patterns, instead of this note in the left hand being all the way over here in this section, it'd be towards the top, over here, this A. But let's just focus on the right hand for now. So the first note for the right hand is an F, but we have to make sure that we realize these sharps over here says that anytime we play a C, it'll be a C sharp, a D, it'll be a D sharp, an F, it'll be an F sharp, and a G would be a G sharp. So we would play these notes instead of these notes. So that means since we're playing an F, we're actually going to play an F sharp for a first note. And as you can see, these are all 16th notes, so these go pretty fast compared to our 8th notes, which go like this. These 16th notes go twice as fast as that. So, after we go to this F sharp, we go to a G sharp. So we'd play it like this. And after the G sharp, we go to a B. And since there's no B sharp in here, we just play it regularly. And then we go to a C sharp, then back to a B, and then to a G sharp. So this whole part would be this. So as you can see, we play that thing 4 times before we change anything. So we just do this. After that, we go to pretty much the same thing, except the bottom note is an E instead of an F sharp. Now here is where things change. The first note does stay an E, but it goes to an F sharp, then an A, and then a B. Then it goes back down to the A and the F sharp. So this. Throughout this whole section, they follow the pattern where you go up, and then you go directly down. So that way your hands do the same thing each time. So over time, it'll become easier and easier to do that. At first, it may become hard, since you'll have to train your fingers to go fast at the same time as having to be quiet, as you can tell because of the P in this music, which means that you have to play it quiet. So instead of playing this, we would play more like this. Also, instead of playing them like this, try to hold the first note long so that when you go to the next note, you can let go. And so this would make it sound smoother. So instead of you hearing this, it would sound better if you play it like this. just trying to hold each one longer than it is supposed to be to make it sound smooth. Now on to the last line of music for the right hand. We have this, a D, but since the key signature says otherwise, it's a D sharp. And then we go to a regular E, then an F sharp, then to a G sharp, and then back down. And that's actually all there is to the right hand in this piece. So practice this a lot just by doing this. And make sure to practice this a lot by playing this right hand alone separately. And you can divide it up into sections by just playing this part over and over again. You can also do the same thing with the other sections. For this one, and also for this one. And lastly for this one too. Okay, after you get enough practice for the right hand, it's time to move on to the left hand. So, since it's just like the right hand, we would have the same types of notes. So this note, the first note, wouldn't be the C sharp down here, it's going to be the A. Then the next note is a C sharp, and then an E. And then we go back to the C sharp, then back to the E, and then back to the C sharp. So in total it would sound like this. And just like how we did in the right hand, we repeat this 4 times, as we do with the other changes in the music. So for the next line, we have a G, but it's a G sharp, then a B, and then a D sharp, then we go back to the B, then D sharp, and we go back to the D. So it would sound like this. Now the only change in the music is right here, where instead of playing another G sharp, we play a regular G. And the way to know this is because of this sign right here. This sign means that that note for the whole measure, which is indicated by this line, so that means that every time you see that line, a new measure starts. So every time you play G from there on, you have to make it that it's not the sharp that it's going or supposed to be. So instead of playing a G sharp again, we would go back to the G. And since we don't see G after that, we don't need to play another natural G. But just so you know, that's what you would do in the future if you ever saw something like that. So just to make sure you guys understand that, if we had a natural sign right over here, where we had what our left hand would be doing this. If we had a natural sign right here on this first C sharp, for the rest of the measure, we would play that as a natural C, which means that you don't play it as a sharp. You play it like this. But then, since it's a new measure, we return back to the C sharp for this part. Okay, on to the next section for the left hand. Right here, you see an F sharp, then it goes to an A, then to a C sharp, and then as the patterns went beforehand, we go back to the A, back to the C sharp, and then back to the A. And then we do that part 4 times. Okay, on to the last section for the left hand. We have an E, then a G sharp, and then a B, then a G sharp, then a B, then a G sharp. And we play that 4 times. Now, before we put it all together, let's take in hand the dynamics. So you see this towards the end right here? That means that it's going outwards and it's spreading apart. That means that you're going to get louder. So you're going to start like this, quiet. But then you get louder. Also, let's look over here where we see pedal. That means that for each measure, we hold down the pedal, and then after the measure's done, we let go, and then we hold down the pedal again, like this. Hold, let go, then press again, let go, then press again, hold, let go, and then hold again, let go, and then hold again, let go and hold again, let go and hold again, let go and hold for one last time, and then we let go. Okay, that's about it for all the dynamics. Just make sure that you're quiet over here throughout the piece until you get to here where it starts to get louder. That you have all the pedal ready, and practice like letting go of the pedal and then holding it back down again. Once you're ready, play the left and right hand together, but do it very slowly since you need to get the hang of it before you start playing it at the actual tempo that it's supposed to be played at. I think this would be a good tempo if you're still a beginner. And even if you can't do that, that's fine. Just play it slowly. You will get there one day. That's about it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe and comment which one I should do next. Thank you guys for watching.